Hey everyone, Michael Simpkins here. Welcome to episode 8 of the Police Instructors Podcast. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. In this episode, I'm speaking with Scott Ogrodowczyk and Denver Kindiger of KO Combatives, a comprehensive defensive tactics system for police officers. Make sure you pay attention all the way through because these guys have some valuable information to share, and I'll meet up with you at the end.
Bringing police instructors together, discussing training trends and more. Welcome to the Police Instructors Podcast, where industry training experts share their strategies on how to plan, develop, and design courses in a way that facilitates training retention. Bringing his 23 years of expertise as a police instructor to you, please welcome your host, Michael Simpkins.
Thank you for being here with me today, Scott in Denver. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to the Police Instructors Podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're glad to be on here.
Yes, sir.
Well, cool, man. I'm glad you guys are here, too. We tried to do this earlier before, right? And it didn't quite work out, but we're working through it now. So I tell you what, let's get started, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to go through and tell the listeners a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do.
I'm currently the captain and general departmental instructor and second in command of my agency. I started my law enforcement career in 1990. Was a reserve officer with Signal Mountain until, I don't know if I'm allowed to say my agency on here, am I?
Yeah, you sure, you can, as long as they don't care.
I don't think they'll care. I started there in 90 and doing the reserve thing. Then I went to full-time status in 96. I actually started training with them every year in 88, going through in-service and all their other training before when I was 18. And then when I was 20, they swore me in as a reserve. Then when I finished college, I started full-time and worked there until 2000. January 2000, I went to Hamilton County Sheriff's Office here in Chattanooga and worked there. Got to work every shift in every district in the county. I taught defensive tactics and baton there, as well as I actually taught a college class at Chattanooga State Technical Community College for 8 years as well. For their college program, it was a personal safety and self-defense class. Then I came back to Signal Mountain in 2008. I teach firearms, defensive tactics, baton, OC, active shooter. Well, pretty much the general departmental instructor has to teach anything that we have to learn.
Yeah.
We started doing this how many years ago?
Started probably 5 years ago when we first started with the citizens class.
Yeah.
And then that morphed into what we are now and being able to really go out and be police instructors.
And we started training together a little bit, and then we were asked to do, that was probably about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Then we were asked to do a class for citizens up here. We started doing that, and the way they had it set up, the place we were teaching through, they wanted to do 1 hour class 1 day a week for 8 weeks, which wasn't very cost effective for us. But I took to load everything up, haul it up there, and then teach, and then come back. And it was hard for the citizens to commit to 8 weeks. A lot of them were college students that were wanting to take it, be safe for school, and they didn't really have 8 weeks to do it. So, and then people were just, citizens are a little less, I guess, up to speed on their need to know some of this stuff. And they're a little bit more hesitant to try things. They're afraid to try stuff or embarrassed to try stuff. And so it was fun, but it wasn't real cost effective for us. And I'm on the board for the Training Officers Association. East Tennessee chaplain actually for TLETOA. And
you've been on that board for years, right?
yeah, I think I got elected in 2013.
Okay. I knew it'd been several years.
Yeah, it's been a while. Time goes fast. It's hard to.
Yeah, it does, man. Time flies.
But they tried to. We try to put together good conferences for the officers to be able to come to. We want to always offer instructor level courses. We want to give them stuff that they can take back to their agency. They can get it at the conference for the conference fee instead of paying $1,000 for a class. They can go and pay $175 for spring conference or $250 for the fall conference, and they get their certification. We had different instructors and different groups come in to teach, and they were charging so much money. It was just, it was getting pretty expensive. So we've got people on the board that are qualified to put together stuff, and people in the association who aren't on the board that are qualified to put together classes. I talked to Johnny Welch up there at Post, and he told me what I needed to do to submit something for us to be able to teach an instructor level course. And see, this past 2 spring conferences, we've taught our class up there at spring conference. The first one was what? Let's see, this was 2018 was the last one. 2017, when we were putting together that conference, we were trying to line up some classes. We're trying to get some stuff, and they were just so expensive. I said, hey, if you want a DT instructor class, I've talked to Johnny Welch. I can put something together. We can do something that we think is better anyway. We've been trying to develop it. We were teaching our people here at my agency. We taught them DT. So we put together a class, submitted it to Post. They signed off on it, approved it, and we taught our first class up there in 2017. It was very well received. We had people in there that I've been teaching with for decades. Heck, Tim Winder from Cleveland PD just retired in October there on Halloween. He actually certified me in PR 24 back in 1991. And he and I have been,
you had to date yourself there.
Yeah, but he and I have been to a lot of instructor schools together. We've been to that spontaneous knife defense instructor school together, Krav Maga instructor school together, different PPCT ones, and other like baton instructor schools and stuff like that. And he took my class and he said, "This is better than any of the stuff we've gone to." And so,
wow. See, that's what I wanted. That's what I was really interested in hearing about what you offer, because you offer something that is really different from, I guess, the standard defensive tactics for law enforcement, right?
Yep. And we taught that there, and right after that class, Cleveland PD wanted to host it, and Tim was their GDI. He had us come down, and we've taught there twice now. We taught there last January, and we taught there this October, or this past October. January and October of 2018. We had a guy from Crossville PD, Larry Quarles, who was their GDI, and he'd been to a lot of the classes with Tim and I. He wanted to host it. We went up and taught there. We had, we taught at Sumner County twice so far. We've taught at Williamson County. We taught at Catoosa County down there in Georgia. We've taught at Dixon, and where else have we taught? Been several. We taught 6 this past year, and we taught, I think, 6 the year before.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
We teach more, but we just don't have the problem is still working full time, so more requests for classes than we can fill. Once I retire, then that'll be a little bit easier.
Yeah, that's a different story, right? Yeah, that's the thing, trying to find the time to do it when it's only you two doing it. So what is the name of your company, your defensive tactics company?
It's KO Combatives.
KO Combatives.
Yes, sir. It kind of works out with, it's not really why, but our last names, put it Kindiger, Ogrodowczyk. It kind of works out that way. But it's really, we utilize, it's kinesiology, mess up on this word. So,
kinesics optimization.
Yes.
Kinesics optimization.
It's based off of mostly, we use a lot of Krav Maga stuff in there. And we take stuff from all different systems out there. We didn't invent any of this stuff, just like none of the other people teaching it invented it either.
Yeah.
We take stuff from all these different ones, but it's heavy in Krav Maga, and a lot of it is using the principles that the SEALs were using in their system back in the 90s. Everything off the autonomic nervous system and how the body responds to stimulus. And so that's the whole thing with the kinesiology. Kinesiology is to study a human movement. So we use anatomical and physiological functions and structures of the body. And we try to optimize that and make it as perfect and effective as possible. And the body is going to react predictably no matter what, whether it feels pain or not. It's going to react predictably to certain stimulus. You make contact in a certain area in a certain way, the body's going to react predictably. So we know what the person's going to be doing when we make contact with them. And also, every time we move, whether it's to evade or to control or to strike, our body position is changing and our body mechanics position, or our body mechanics changes, and that's going to put us in a different position for strikes. So that's why we've simplified the whole approach to just 3 principles for them to remember instead of all these steps.
Yeah, see, that's what I found really interesting when you and I were talking on the phone, a while back, is you guys have, I don't want to say simplified the process, but you've eliminated all of the steps and the standard tactics for law enforcement that we go through to basic, simple movements that we're familiar with that aren't difficult, right?
Yeah, like especially when you're in a stressful situation, you're not going to remember all these steps to go through. So we just really try to make it, like you said, not, simplify it to where when you're in a very stressful situation, you're able to just move around and do what you need to do instead of just vapor locking or, freezing because you're like, oh, I messed this step and everything just messes up. So yeah, that's what we're really trying to focus on, just being able to do it even when you're in a stressful situation.
We focus mostly on, we teach them strikes, we teach them target areas, and we teach them methods of effective contact for those target areas. And so all they have to remember is 3 principles. Get out of the line of the force being directed at them. Second one is control the weapon, and it doesn't have to be for a tremendously long time. It's just you control the weapon long enough to do the third step, which is neutralize the threat. And that's it. There's no wrong way to go, which before, a lot of the stuff that we were taught, it was almost scripted. But we didn't plan, but it needs to be adaptable and adjustable. The script, you're planning every step. Okay, if this happens, I'm going to go to the left, and I'm going to do this and that and the other thing. Well, they miss a step, and they panic. And like he said, like Ember said, they vapor lock, and then they don't know what to do, and they freeze. This one, it doesn't matter which direction you go, because in reality, we can plan for all this stuff. I think every time we do something, go to the right. Well, in the heat of the moment, under a surprise attack, we may move the other way just to get out of the way. And there's no direction to go. If you're out of the way, you've been successful. Now you're in a position, you make contact with them to control that weapon long enough to make effective contact and neutralize that threat, whether it's controlling them, incapacitating them, or whatever. It kind of flows.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it when you and I talked on the phone. It just seems like it's a more practical solution, Denver, you didn't get the opportunity to kind of introduce yourself or whatever. You want to take a couple seconds to do that?
Yes, sir. I'm not a law enforcement officer. I'm actually still a full-time college student right now.
Awesome, man.
So I'm still in college.
What are you studying for, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
What are you studying for, if you don't mind me asking?
Yes, sir. I'm studying, my major is history with a minor in education. So possibly being a teacher could be the plan. But I'm still doing that. And so it kind of works out with my schedule since I'm off in the summertime. That's when we can have some good classes. Do that. But no, we, like Scott said, we started training around 5 years ago, and ever since then, it's just I've enjoyed doing this kind of stuff.